So this is how to perform a right-handed square and surgeon's hand tie. So we start with a piece of rope or a piece of suture, and it's important that we hold the suture so that it doesn't fall below table level or outside of our draped area. And so the way that we do that is we make one gentle loop in the left hand for right-handed surgeon, and then you're going to have the extra come out the top of your hand, and that way it's very easy to pull more out if you need more. And then when you start your first throw, you pass the suture down and around and towards yourself and make a C with your left hand. And so that creates this cross over your index finger. So now I'm going to bring the other piece of suture up so I have an X. I pinch my fingertips together, rotate them through the loop, and then put the tail end in the pinch and rotate back. It's important to maintain control of the end of the suture at all times. So I'm going to pull that throw down. So what I have now is one square throw. I'm going to add a second throw, and I'm going to do that by creating that C with my left hand again, but this time I'm on my thumb throw, so I'm creating that X over top of my thumb, and then again pinch and rotate through the loop and rotate back, and then this time the tail end, the short end of the suture, comes towards me instead of away, and that's how I know I've created a square knot instead of a granny knot. To get a secure ligature, I want at least 2 knots or 4 throws. So I have 2 throws down right now. So I'm going to, again, create an X over my index finger, rotate through, and you'll see that that tail end of the suture is getting passed directly from one hand into the next. Rotating my thumb clockwise, and again, pinch and cross, and pull this down. And then when you look at the suture that you have, so there's 4 throws, 2 square knots, and you can see they're built all on top of each other, so it doesn't look like they're all leaning. If you have ones that kind of are looking sort of tangled, this tells you that you're not pulling the throws down squarely, that you're ending up with half hitches. And I'll show you more about those in a moment. So that's a square knot hand tie. A surgeon's knot is much the same as far as the start goes. So lay the suture across your hand, the extra coming out the top, pass the suture down and around and towards yourself, and then create that C with your left hand. So again, I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to start just like I did for my square knot, except instead I'm going to re-pinch my fingers and rotate through and bring the tail end through a second time. So I end up with this little double piece. And when this comes down, it's a bit bulky for that first throw, and that's just the nature of a surgeon's throw. And then I'm going to lay down my next throw. So I'm going to put my thumb throw on, and then I have a surgeon's knot. I'm going to place a square knot on top of it. And I mentioned half hitches. The way that you get half hitches is if instead of pulling out and down, you pull sort of up and out, or you pull one harder than the other. That'll give you a half hitch. So we want to get those back to square so that they're as strong as possible. And then a final thumb throw. And you'll see from looking at this one that you have a little bit of airspace or a little gap in between the surgeon's throw and the square throws, and the reason is because the surgeon's throw is wider than the square throws are, and this is just the nature of the knot.